What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman. Now, it has been pretty much Spider-Man 3 headlines non-stop since the movie started on-set filming and production just about 2 months ago. The most recent headlines this week: Willem Defoe returning as Norman Osborn, Green Goblin, and Thomas Hayden Church as Sandman. The real question being, with all of these old characters returning, just how much room is left in the script for Tom Holland's Peter Parker, and are these old characters or new indeed? The discrepancy starting when Jamie Foxx Electro confirmed that he'd be back as his old version, and then of course that he wouldn't be blue. Well, we have an industry insider report today that updates on both accounts, plot developments as far as the script, and of course what's going on with these characters. Which versions will we be getting, even though it's the same actors returning to reprise their roles? We're gonna break it all down. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button, we're still giving away this insane 1/4 scale Beta Ray Bill, as well as our third and final Infinity Saga box set in just a couple of weeks, and we've added a PlayStation 5. If you want to be entered to win, all you have to do, hit the subscribe button, then hit the notification bell, leave a like and a comment on this video, and if you want, stick around at the end of the video. We'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. So quickly, because I don't normally issue a spoiler warning for industry insider updates, but because today we are talking about the plot, if you want to go into Spider-Man 3 completely fresh, if you're susceptible to these kind of things, if this is going to ruin your Spider-Man 3 experience, as we will be talking about main points that could be a part of the plot, you've been warned. The updates today are coming from Daniel Ritchman via his Patreon. I will leave a link down in the description, who in the last couple of days went on to say this about the script. Quote, "It's a multiverse film, the second part of the multiverse trilogy, starting with WandaVision and ending in Doctor Strange 2. Sam Raimi had a big part in convincing the past actors to return. The movie is still very much about Tom Holland as the other Spideys, and they don't come into the picture until the third act. The movie starts right where Far From Home ended. The first act is about Peter trying to clear his name, while all the crazy multiverse things happen because of Wanda. Strange is there to let Peter know what's going on. The villains are from other Earths, same actors, but not the same versions we met before. New designs to all of them, more comic book accurate to some, and some more modern." He then went on to clarify in a further tweet and release that there may be one or two original elements to some of these villains. The Green Goblin may retain some of his costume designs, for instance, but they were going to get full updates, and that they are villains from other Earths, the same actors playing the same roles, but different versions of those characters, not the ones we saw in the original Spider-Man trilogy. Now, I'm still a little skeptical about this, and this is something we'd been talking about since the earlier parts of last year. At first, when Deadpool was going to enter the MCU, that the way that the Marvel Studios writing team may decide to explain who and what his character is, even though he's coming from a different continuity, is have Ryan Reynolds playing Deadpool, same actor, same character, just a different iteration or version of that character, one that fits into the MCU. Of course, Deadpool would have a lot to say about that. We would expect nothing less, but it seems as though that's what they're trying to do with these characters. Now, why they would be different versions from different Earths, you have to understand. An infinity of multiverse means that there's an infinity of each character. There's multiples of each character. If you've watched Rick and Morty, they've talked about this a lot, and there's a very real possibility we're going to go even further into exploring this in Loki. That's why they've hired a ton of the Rick and Morty writers. We've talked about this at the channel as well. If you weren't aware, basically all of the Rick and Morty writing team has gone on to write for multiple Disney Plus series. They're just really good at explaining things that are super hard to explain without creating enormous plot holes, something that happens when you find out there's infinite of someone. It could be that these are just different Infinite Earth versions of those characters. You get the same actor, you get the same character, but you get to update and modernize their suit in the way that Daniel Ritchman is talking about here. And the MCU has done a great job of doing that, where historically the comic accurate costume really wouldn't have made any sense in context of what's going on. One great example, obviously Spider-Man Homecoming with the Vulture. Could you imagine if it had been his comic accurate suit? Go ahead and insert all your Michael Keaton bird memes here, but they were able to explain it away as leftover Chitauri tech. This is something the MCU is really good at, and I'm excited to see these versions of these characters get the MCU treatment as far as how their costumes are going to look. The one final thought I'll leave you with, as I've sort of brought it up a couple of times, but now I'm really wondering out loud, is what does it mean for these villains in future versions going into the MCU? You guys have to know, at some point we want a Sinister Six. At some point, Sony wants a Sinister Six, and generally that team's either put together by one of either Dr. Octopus or Norman Osborn. Well, we're about to see both Alfred Molina and Willem Defoe come back as those characters in versions that probably won't be on screen for all that long, even though Daniel Ritchman has indicated this is mostly a third act thing here, and we are going to get some action. Keep in mind, they're not going to give us this live action Spider-Man trilogy and then not pay it off in that film. That's not Sony's style, and quite honestly, as fans, after last year we've had and pushing it all back, we all know that we're getting that. But here becomes the real question, and follow my logic here. If this film is meant to imply that the multiverse has infinite versions of these characters and that it's the same basic person playing all of those infinity characters, then what does that mean twofold? A, if we get a future Norman Osborn Green Goblin or a future Dr. Octopus, will that mean that Willem Defoe and Alfred Molina are back to play those roles as the MCU's version of those characters? Or when we see quote-unquote alternate versions in the multiverse coming up and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, do those versions have to be played by the same actors? Meaning, note John Krasinski Captain America, for instance, it would be Steve Rogers in every version of the multiverse. That's what this would seem to imply, but we're going to have to wait and see how they explain it and what's going on, because obviously Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, and Tom Holland are all Spider-Men from their different respective timelines or Earths, however this goes in the multiverse, and they are all obviously very different people and actors. Either way, it would be super interesting if Sony and Marvel chose to use this as the doorway to bringing back these classic actors in different new versions of their characters. Willem Defoe back as Norman Osborn, for instance, in the main MCU continuity. My brain is starting to hurt and I hate thinking about this stuff. Thank God they've hired great writers to tackle it, and I don't really know what this is going to mean again for the future of the Sinister Six. I think it's odd that we're going to have enough villains to fill out a full Sinister Six team, but that it's only going to be a third act multiverse crossover and they won't actually have their own narrative in the MCU. Guys, let me know all your thoughts down below. A, how much does the multiverse string theory, multi-dimensional stuff make your brain hurt? And B, how hype are you that these actors and actresses get to come back, retain their original roles, but get the MCU treatment, get to see the way that an Alfred Molina Dr. Octopus or the Norman Osborn played by Willem Defoe is going to get to look as his Green Goblin? I am all ears. I know we are all super hyped, and we're going to keep posted for that Spider-Man trailer whenever it may drop between now and the end of the year. Let me know all your thoughts down below, and quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. We're still giving away this insane 1/4 scale Beta Ray Bill, as well as our third and final Infinity Saga box set on New Year's Eve. We are very close to this giveaway, regardless of the subscriber count. We're also giving away a PlayStation 5 at 800,000 subscribers. If you want to be entered to win any of the prizes here or any of the future prizes at the channel, all the same rules will always apply. Hit the subscribe button because you need to be a subscriber, then leave a comment down below, and because it's truly random, the more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. Then make sure to hit the notification bell with notifications turned on to keep up with the content to help you do that. And of course, if you enjoyed today's video or the content here at the channel, we'd appreciate it if you'd hit that like button. My name is Michael Roman. You can find me over on Instagram at IamFires, over on Spotify with original music under All Fires, or even over on Twitch, twitch.tv/Novellin. There are links down in the description to all three. Thanks for checking out the channel, guys, and stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.